Hello everyone. Today I would like to make a video basically explaining how to inspect one of these cylinders and check whether it's reusable or completely finished and needs to be replated. Bit of backstory, I recently purchased this. It's a 2011 KX250F. The previous owner had put the oil filter the wrong way in and starved the top end of the motor of oil. Now, when that happens, the cylinder and the piston, the piston mainly gets incredibly hot and causes it to practically weld itself to the cylinder. So, I'm not sure if you can see there, but that skirt is completely damaged. This side okay, but the piston is practically welded into the cylinder. So, when you're looking at these, the main thing that you want to check, well, the thing you want to check is for scoring on the walls. Now, there is one thing that makes this cylinder unusable. And what it is it's this. So, if you run your fingernail up and down, which even running this screwdriver up and down, I can feel that that is very rough and not smooth. And it should be very smooth. Now, what has actually happened is the piston has completely rubbed through the very thin Nicosil coating that's on this cylinder and basically made this unusable. Now, all the other damage to this cylinder, as in those scrapes and wear marks, would not cause this cylinder to be unusable. This cylinder would clean up very well with just a hone if it wasn't for that damage. Now, the other big thing that doesn't necessarily make this unusable, but would need attention, is this on the back. Now, I'm not sure if you can see, but this is most definitely raised. Now, what this stuff actually is transfer. So, the aluminium of the piston gets so hot that it literally deposits itself against the cylinder wall and it leaves this shiny looking stuff. And you can feel with your fingernail that it's raised. The trick to actually get this off is some muriatic acid. Now, it will eat through the aluminium and stop once it gets to the Nicosil. It won't eat through the Nicosil. And you can basically just, with a Scotch-Brite, a few passes, with the acid, let it sit, Scotch-Brite, and you can actually get that all off. Now, it's a big shame that this damage has occurred in the front, because if it wasn't for this, I would do the muriatic acid trick, get this transfer off, and I would just give that a really good hone and order a piston for it. Unfortunately, due to that damage, this cylinder either has to be thrown away or replated. Now, next, I would like to show you how to check the bottom end. So, there is no way to visually check these. They're all sealed, but there is a way to test. So, you grab the rod, and some side-to-side play is normal. Now, usually in the owner's manual, it will tell you can actually measure in between here, and it will tell you with a feeler gauge, and it'll tell you what the run out is supposed to be. Now, I'm not too worried about that. I can just feel by myself that this is in a good condition, and a little bit of side-to-side play is normal. However, what you do not want any of is up and down play. Now, I can feel this has 0 up and down play, which is good. Even the smallest amount means that the bottom end is damaged and needs to be replaced. This one, perfect. Can just basically slap the top of the motor on and it's good. Now, the one other thing to check is inside the actual rod. So as you can see, this one does have a tiny bit of scratching because these are lubricated by oil. Now, I can feel with my fingernails that it feels flat. So that means that it's good enough to, to just basically be left as be. What you can do is get a bit of Scotch-Brite and just give that a little sand. It's not even a sand, just a clean. And that should get rid of that little tiny bit of scoring that you can see. But there is nothing to indicate that this bottom end is not usable again. Sometimes you can have huge gouges in here, and you'll be able to feel it with your fingernail, and then that's basically bad luck. At that point, the whole bottom end has to be replaced. And yeah, those are basically two things you want to look for. And if they're okay, then there is basically no reason why I would see not to reuse the bottom end. Yeah, I just really hope this helps someone, because when I got into this, no one told me, and I had an Aprilia RS 125. Basically replaced the piston, didn't check the conrod properly, the crank, and it turned out it had a dodgy bottom end, and the thing just blew up 5,000 Ks later. So I really hope this helps someone with their project. Now, I'm actually buying a $200 eBay piston and cylinder kit. It's the only way that this motor would be reusable, economically, worth it to repair. So I will be making a video and a good review. I'm not going to measure anything, but I will basically just look at the quality and give my opinion. And if it runs, if it looks okay, I'll put it, if it looks okay, I'll put it in and post some videos of it running and give a real good review. But yeah, I don't want to waffle on too much. I hope this helps someone. Thank you, everyone. Bye.